Hey, hey y'all, what it do, family? Man, I don't know. I don't think y'all understand how much I was looking forward to today's Monday Magic, man. Like, before I even get into that, hello, my name's Mark. I'm your reader today, and welcome to Monday Magic. This is, where it all goes down, honestly. And I'm just so excited, yo. Like, I feel like there's so many great things that are gonna come through today. I have some fun stuff planned. Um, it's gonna be an all-encompassing day for sure. Um, Definitely gonna give y'all a little time to get in here for the folks joining us live on Twitch. So if you're catching this later on, or you're catching a replay or just a clip or a segment, definitely go ahead and give the Twitch a follow at it's just too easy _5. We do these readings every Monday, and they're just so special. And I'm ready for our community to keep growing and for all the magic to just continue because the more it grows, and the more potent and powerful the messages that come through are, and just the whole nine, honestly. So hell yeah, you're definitely in for a treat if this is your first time here. So sit back, relax, and really just enjoy the trip because it truly is a journey. It truly is a unfoldment, honestly. So don't worry about anything. Don't think about anything. There's nothing you need to know coming in or anything like that. Just sit back and relax, and the energy will do the rest, honestly. That being said, if you are new here, at the beginning of every one of these live streams, we do our presence practice, which is our breath work right into our body scan. And the purpose of that is to just really bring us into the present moment and also to create room in our cup to work with these energies because there are a lot of energies that come through and they're very potent and powerful in the whole nine. So our presence practice really gives us the best chance to be able to hold space for it all and to contain it all and to not be overwhelmed by it, because at the point where our cup's too full and we're scattered and we don't have room for it, then it doesn't matter what comes through. We're not going to be able to work with it as best as we can. Hey Dream, welcome to the magic. And it's nice to see that the chat is working today. So I'm excited. Everything's here and it's all ready for us. So that being said, I don't have my wind protector today. So if the wind starts to get a lot and it starts to, get in the way or anything, definitely let me know. I'm going to keep an eye on the levels and try to get ahead of it as best as I can. But if the wind is becoming too much and it's getting in the way of you being able to hear the messages, definitely let me know and I'll see what I can do. I'll move it a little over some more. You see, I got my buttons all the way up to the top like a good boy, really just to give our mic the best chance possible. Just let me know and we'll continue to adjust and we'll continue to roll as we do, as you know. So that being said, go ahead and get into whatever position you're gonna be in for our presence practice today, whether it be seated, laying down, or if you're on the move, hey, whatever works. Go ahead and introduce some movement into your body. For our breath work today, we're just gonna be doing deep belly breaths in through the nose, all the way to the bottom of the belly, hold, and then slow exhale out the mouth. As slow as you can, honestly. At the very least, make sure the exhale lasts longer than your inhale did. And that's really to promote that relaxation. If you were to do the opposite, which is the longer inhales and shorter exhales, that would be to promote energy and to give yourself like a little boost in energy. And but today we're working to relax and to bring ourselves into the present. So we're gonna do longer exhales than inhales. So go ahead and introduce some movement into your body. I like me a little wave, little roll of the neck from side to side. I woke up, my neck was hurting a little bit. Had another wild night of dreams, honestly. So woke up, brain hurting a little bit, body a little tired, but hey, it's winter, it's the end of winter. We're doing work in our waking life and our sleeping life. So ain't nothing wrong with that. It's all for us. So. And when you're ready, just go ahead and lovingly and slowly close your eyes and let's get to it. If you haven't already, if you're seated or laying down, go ahead and turn your palms up, put us in a receiving mode. Before we get started, just notice how you feel right now. There is a lot going on here. The energy is very high out here between the wind, the noises, and just the activity out here in general. So if there is a lot of noise as we do I'll let that pass. If there is a lot of noise as we're doing our presence practice, hey, welcome it in and express a little gratitude, because it's all part of the practice, in our walking life. There's a lot going on. So if you're able to still command that presence throughout all this noise in our practice, then yeah, it's definitely going to translate to your life. And that's the most profound part about meditation and these practices, is the way it bleeds out into your waking life. It doesn't just stay in these practices. So in your practice, if it's not stone cold quiet, hey, understand that that's real life application right there, real world practice. So embrace it all and don't feel the need to control it so much or feel like you can't practice because there's so much going on. That's where the most profound practice happens. So yeah, that being said, take special notice of how you feel right now, how the energy in your body feels right now, before we before we change it, before we work with it. Kind of take scope of where you're starting, of the before, before we get to the after. That being said, palms up. I'm going to go ahead with our first inhale all the way to the belly. So inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Do a couple more rounds of those. Allow this bus to pass by. Go ahead and inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Go ahead and introduce a little bit of movement back into your body. Roll your neck a little bit. Ooh, this energy's on 10 out here. I love it. All right, we're gonna go right into our body scan. And for today's body scan, we're gonna start at our toes. And you're just gonna place your awareness in the area that I call out. And just notice. Don't think too hard. Don't judge anything you may notice. If you do feel any stuck energy or stagnant energy in a location, just lovingly allow the energy to move and release it using your awareness. But don't question it as far as how long it's been there, where it came from, what it means, or anything like that. Just notice and allow. That's all you're doing here. And remember, the name of the game is presence. So remain present through it all and don't allow yourself to get pushed this way or that way by any of the energy or anything. Just stay here in this moment and continue moving as we move along. So we're going to start with our toes. Go ahead and give them a little bit of a wiggle. Remember, palms up. Allow ourselves to be in receiving mode. And let's get going. So, toes. Then your feet. Your ankles. Then your lower legs, your shins, and your calves. Then your knees. Then your lower leg, or your upper legs, your thighs, hamstrings, quads. Then we're going to go to our hands. Pay special attention to the subtle energies present in your hand. If you allow your focus to be soft enough and your awareness to be soft enough, you can actually notice the subtle vibrations. So spend a little time connecting with those. Then we're going to go to our arms, upper and lower. Then we're going to go to our hips. Then our pelvic and groin area. Then we're going to come around to our butt. And if you're seated or lying down, pay special attention to where your body meets the surface that you're sitting or lying on. And really lean into the support that's there. And even express a little gratitude for the support. Thank you. Then we're going to go to our lower back. Then our upper back. our shoulders, then your neck, then your ears, chin, then your mouth, then your nose, your cheeks, then your eyes, then the back of your head, then your forehead, and last but not least, the top of your head. Great job. Take special note of how you feel right now and how the energy in your body feels, especially versus how it felt when we first took note at the beginning of our practice. Yeah, know that you're not limited to only doing this in these sessions. If you ever find yourself needing a little bit of a reset, hey, go ahead and pull out your presence practice, breath work right into your body scan, and it will make a difference. That being said, we're going to do one more deep breath before we end our practice today. Deep inhale all the way to the belly, hold, and then for the exhale, don't even push any of the air out. Just allow it to release, like letting air out of a balloon. Just slowly let the air leak out and allow it to take as long as it needs to. And also take the opportunity to release anything that no longer serves you. As we've entered March, we're at the beginning of March, so happy new month, y'all. And hey, in a couple weeks, we'll be entering spring. And this one's gonna be a great one and a very big one. So whatever you're not taking with you into these last couple weeks and into spring and into the rest of the year, go ahead and allow yourself to release it with this deep breath right now. So inhale. Exhale. Great job, y'all. Now go ahead and express gratitude 3 times to yourself, for engaging in this what is truly an act of self-love. Whether it be in your mind, energetically, or out loud, just go ahead and express gratitude. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. When you're ready, go ahead and slowly and lovingly open your eyes and return to the space that you're in. Whew. Wow. It's all bright. The sun's all right on my face. Energy's a little calmer than it was when we came into it. I feel good. Definitely ready for a great Monday magic. And I didn't introduce my baby. Hey, tree baby. She's a very big half, or hey, third of the work we do here. You know, me being another third and you being the other third. Go ahead and tuck my hair, get it out the way. But yeah, she was getting a lot of love all across social media and everything this past week. And yeah, it always warms my heart because we go way back. Like even before these readings, I used to come out here sometimes and just journal, sit right here and journal and do all type of things just when I need to come outside or clear my mind or anything like that. So when it came time to doing these weekly readings, it was a no-brainer to come sit right here and do the readings here. So to see people always continue to comment like how beautiful she is and how majestic and magical she feels and all that, it feels very poetic, and it always warms my heart because yeah, she's a very big part of it. And the readings inside versus the readings when I'm sitting right here on her roots are completely different. So yeah, she's a very big part of the magic. So yeah, this is Tree Baby, y'all. So definitely when I introduce myself in Monday Magic, I always want to make sure to remember to introduce the big majestic being that's also here with us. So yeah, that being said, it's time for the magic, y'all. This week we're going to get started with Oracle, and then we're going to go into Tarot, and then I have some play to inject into closing out our session to get our closing messages. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but it's showtime, y'all. Hey. Oh, damn. Okay. Let's get right to it. Seems like the wind is a very big character in this week's magic as well. And yeah, the first thing is out. Number 5. Let's see. Make sure y'all can see. And someone's lying. And this just feels like a change of direction. It feels like, I don't want to say a warning, but it feels like a call to be mindful of who's around you right now. Whether this being a partner, a business partner, a spouse, family, or whatever it is. It feels like we're being called to go in a different direction and to be mindful that everything may not be what it seems. Yeah, it seems like this week a revelation may come to surface about someone or something close to you. And it seems like right when it does, the call is to go in a different direction, not necessarily give a bunch of chances or over explain yourself or, try to call them out and try to paint this picture or anything like that. It's like take the information and go a different way and to do what you need to do and do what's best for you. Because as you go and try to over explain or try to even confront this thing or call it out, understand that if they're lying or if they're manipulating or anything like that, you calling them out is only going to be a call to them to do more of that and to just paint another picture or to gaslight you or to make it out to be not be what it seems. And then you only in that unfoldment, naturally you'd be led to question yourself, like, oh, maybe I'm tripping, or maybe it's not what I think it is, or maybe it's this or that, when the truth is it's exactly what you know it to be. It's exactly what was revealed to you, and the best thing you can do is to go a different direction, to change your path, and to understand that, hey, at worst come to worst, if you're wrong, that will reveal itself too. But what I'm feeling and what seems to be the call is that in going in this different way, what will be revealed to you is that that was indeed what you needed to do. So like I said, this could be a thing, this could be a dynamic, this could be work, this could be anything, your relationship to the morning coffee you drink, like whatever. It doesn't have to be a person. It can be anything that you're engaging with, anything that there's a dynamic at play. So yeah, and that felt like an urgent message as I was about to kind of preface the energy and all that, and then it's like these cards flew right out, the wind pulled them right out. It's like it needed to, oh wow. And on the bottom is investigate, and that feels like the exact same energy. And it's like, yeah, whenever this call comes through or whenever you get that hit or you feel that energy, look into it. And that doesn't necessarily mean outside of yourself. It may be outside of yourself. You may have to do some further research or investigation as far as just paying attention to whatever this is. But it feels like tap in with yourself as far as what it feels like, as far as what it's typically felt like in the past, like your past interactions with whatever this thing is. And you'll see the proof of whatever this is that you're feeling or whatever hit you got. And just hindsight, you might look back and this is a person, you may be like, damn, there was this other time, there was this other thing that didn't make any sense to me that I kind of overlooked, or this past time I called them out and they said, oh, it wasn't that, it was something else, those type of past instances that will give you clarity on what you're feeling right now. So yeah, that feels very important. It feels very important, but it also doesn't feel like something that needs to command a lot of your energy. Like even just now, even explaining it, it's kind of like we were in and we were out. And like if you've been here a while, that some messages flesh out into 20 minutes, 30 minutes pieces and segments, but that felt like express it and allow it to move, and that's it. Like we don't need to spend too much time on it. And it feels like that energy is the same way. So don't allow it to take up more space in your reality than it needs to. Do what you need to do, move the energy, and continue on as you were. And yeah, investigate came out again. And family came out on the bottom. So this might be pertaining to family, in case somebody needs a little more clarity as to what this is about. Yeah, it might have to do with your family, or whether it be blood family or just those close to you. And the sun presented itself after that. And yeah, it feels like some light is going to be shed on the people close to you and the people you have chosen to keep around, to keep in your inner circle. So just keep your eyes open. Don't go out of your way and try to, like I'm getting called to the That's So Raven effect. If you've seen that show, she typically has visions. And the whole premise of the show, she has visions and she tries to get ahead of them. And in her trying to change it or affect it, we realize that the very thing she's doing to try to stop it is exactly what causes the very visions to occur. And sometimes the things she's seeing are just out of context, and there may not necessarily be a bad thing or whatever. It unfolds different ways, but in her trying to get ahead of it and trying to manipulate it and change the outcomes, she causes them. And it feels like, yeah, don't go out of your way trying to make things happen, or trying to get ahead of them, or try to, question everybody like, oh, what are you doing? Is it you? Is it you? Just, hey, as you were, and trust that these things will unfold as they need to. And hey, energy is always changing. In 15 minutes, the energy could be completely different, and this thing might not present itself. So don't be too wary, or don't be too scared or nervous in navigating reality however you need to, because trust that if this is for you and if this is something you need to keep an eye out for, it will unfold, and you will know, and you'll remember that this moment right here, and yeah, you'll be able to move accordingly. But there's nothing you need to do to force anything or to make any of this unfold, because it will, if it needs to. And cat, I got cat right here that I just pulled out. And then I got turtle on the bottom. And this just feels like trusting your instincts. It also feels like paying attention. And it also feels like trust your instincts and don't force yourself to go any faster than you need to go. Don't force yourself to be any way that you don't naturally feel like being right now. or any way that isn't just your natural state of being and your authentic way of existing right now. I'm being drawn to how cats kind of move at their own pace. They show up and allow you to love on them when they want love. And then if they want to be alone, hey, you're going to be like, dang, where's the cat? And it's kind of somewhere off by itself doing its own thing. And that's how you're being called to be right now. It's like, if you don't feel like being bothered, don't be bothered, Embrace your solitude. And if you do want to be loved on and you have room for other people and you kind of want to be in their energy, hey, hit them up then and allow them to exist in your space in that moment. And turtle on the bottom, it feels like just moving at your own pace. And that also, I'm being called to their shell, that same call to solitude when you need to be. And it's like you have that ability to turn within whenever you need to. And I'm also being called to our present practice today, how the outer noise was kind of loud, but we didn't allow that to stop us from going into our inner world and cultivating that peace within us and connecting to that peace within ourselves. And it's like you always have that ability whenever you need to, and you don't have to go anywhere to find that. And the sun comes out again. And it's like in those spaces, in that space within yourself is so much clarity. And the fact that under that is someone's lying again, it feels like it's tied to that last message. And then under that, the 5, it feels tied to that last message of, as the noise and distractions come in and as people are telling you this or that, or maybe manipulating you or trying to make you see things how they see them, go within, embrace your solitude, and trust that in that process you'll get all the clarity you need to get. And as you remove yourself from the noise, whether physically or just by tuning into your own inner world, that all the clarity you need will find you, and you'll be able to know exactly which direction to go from there, and exactly who to trust, what's real and what's false, what's real, what's an illusion, all from tuning into yourself. And yeah, President in reverse on the bottom. And it feels like not allowing whoever this is or whatever this is to be bigger than the program, and to understand that no matter what position someone holds or how they present themselves, that at the end of the day, you have the full reign of your life. You're the president of your life. You're the emperor of your life. You are the governing body of your existence, of your reality. Nobody's bigger than that. And in that, I'm also feeling called to tell you it feels bigger than now just a person. It feels like the collective at large. It feels like the powers that were at large. And as things are getting crazier on the outside and appearing to get more chaotic on the outside, it's like tune into your inner world and allow that to be your reality. And understand that there's a lot of fear being pushed outside. There's a lot of chaos on the front pages and on your feeds and everything, and understand that that's by design. And if they had their way, you'd be giving your power to all these things. And especially now in the midst of eclipse season, in the midst of spring, right, on momentum being built towards spring, there's a lot of energy at play right now, and there's a lot of newness and a lot of progressive energy that can be used to create your life. And if you're using all that same very creative energy and giving it to all this chaos, trust that you're creating chaos timelines, and that through your awareness and your energy and your emotions, that you're creating more of the things that are making you feel chaotic and making you feel charged. So take all this energy, all this charged energy, and use it to create your life, and pay attention to the things that you want to pay attention to. Go pay attention to your inner world and allow it to bleed outwards, and create from there, more so than creating more of the same by paying attention to the chaos. And on the bottom is 222, and that just feels like harmony. That feels like divine harmony. That feels like the truth of what's really going on here. As the chaos continues to be loud and the illusions are continue to be casted, trust that the true reality of the situation is that things are better than ever. Things are unfolding exactly as they should. And under that is shrooms. And it's like we're on a hell of a trip right now. And if you're able to tune into yourself, you'll be able to see the truth of it all. And under that is LOL. It's like, don't allow things to be as serious as they appear. and trust that your reality is the reality, and it is just as valid as all these things that you're seeing on the outside. Yeah, it just feels like a very important reminder of where you stand in all this, and you stand right in the center of your reality. Oh, and yeah, royalty is what flew away, and try again. It's like you are royalty. You are the governing body of your life. As royalty came out and president came out, and it's like all these people are in these positions, but trust that those are illusions, Like the real person running the show in your life is you, you through your connection to it all, through your knowledge of self, knowing that you sit at the center of your reality, and everything else is just outcomes. It's all products of the collective energies where we've been, but the reality of your world can be found within you, and there's no deeper truth than the truth of you, honestly. And it's like, try again as far as just connecting to it all. And it's like, yeah, it feels like try again feels like a wrong answer. Like when you try maybe like a quiz, if you've ever done like school and then you've had to do something on the computer and you put the wrong answer, it's like, oh, wrong, try again, and gives you another chance. And it feels like, yeah, we've been putting a lot of our energy and a lot of our power into these different places, and by design we've been called to. And it's like, try again, place that energy and that power where it belongs, and it belongs within you. It belongs within your consciousness and your awareness and your ability to make decisions for yourself. And yeah, it just belongs with you. And it's like, try again and reconnect to the truth of you, and allow the picture to be painted, because the true picture is a masterpiece. And if you continue to look outside and try to use that to gauge what's going on, trust that, yeah, a lot of these things are painted to be a nightmare. A lot of these pictures are very, very ugly. So if you allow that to be your reality, or you base what's real to you based on that, trust that you're gonna find yourself living in a nightmare, when the reality is that we're living a dream, a truly beautiful, divine dream. And as things unfold, we'll see that more and more. But the proof of that can be seen right now within you. You don't have to wait to see it play out on the outside. And on the bottom now is Pisces. And this feels like an end, the culmination of it all. And right now we're in Pisces season. And that's the end of the zodiac before we go back to the beginning in Aries and start the new year with spring and all. And it feels like these things are coming to an end. The season's coming to an end. Ways of life are coming to an end. A lot of these systems that have been broken for a really long time are coming to an end. And it's like, that's what's playing out right now. So things may feel chaotic, but trust that this is the coming down of the tower. And from those ashes of when the dust settles and all that, trust that we'll find ourselves back at the beginning, and at the beginning of something beautiful and something real and something true. And Pisces is also reminds me of illusion and illusionary energy, or illusory energy. I'm not sure which word, but yeah, those type of energies. Yeah, and under that is the blank card, and that feels like a fresh start, and that's what's next for us. And this is a new card. Yeah, if you're on the Patreon, then you were there when we made these new cards, and that also feels like newness being injected right now. And it's like, as these things come to an end, what's next is a blank slate. It's like, where do we want to go? And we get to decide that together as a collective, especially as a collective that's aware and that's conscious and that's being intentional in everywhere we're going. Trust that that's exactly what's next. It's like, all right, as these things come to an end, now it's time to rebuild. Now it's time to decide where we want to go as a collective and as individuals. And under that, and this just feels like the collective, It's like a bunch of lights all over the place and in different places doing the work and holding these vibrations of the new earth, these frequencies of the new earth, and grounding them in more and more, day to day, moment to moment. And it's like we're all doing our part. And it's like when this blank slate presents itself, what's next is all of us. And we've been grounding it in. We've been holding these new frequencies and laying the blueprint for what's next through our existence, through the way we show up. And it's like, that's what's next. And 333 under that. And that feels like, oh, the tree is so beautiful. Thank you. I definitely was just talking about that a little bit earlier. And she plays a big part in all of this, I promise you. And yeah, 333 feels like that divine protection and support from things we don't even necessarily recognize to be support. And the fact that you saying the tree is beautiful is a perfect example of that. It's like, this tree provides so much support for this work that we do, so much support for the energy and the container and the messages themselves. And it's like, we're supported by so much. We're divinely protected by so much. By that, your worst enemy, your arch nemesis, is divine support, because it teaches you how to hold stronger boundaries. It teaches you what you deserve and what you don't deserve, what you want to experience and what you don't want to experience, what you're honestly just too good for, you know. It's like people, what you like, and people, what you don't like. It's like, without the contrast of the worst things, like the beautiful things aren't able to be appreciated as the beauty that they are. And without experiencing what disalignment feels like, you aren't truly able to appreciate what true alignment feels like, you know. Without failed love and failed relationships, you're not able to appreciate and recognize those relationships that are so perfect and so aligned for you. So it's like, trust that you're divinely protected, you're divinely supported by everything. Even if you're in the middle of a storm right now, trust that in the future, that very storm will be the foundation for your wins, for the beauty and for the magic that finds you on future days and for future wins. So trust that no matter where you are in your story, in your journey right now, that it's all for you and it's all serving you in such a divine way. And it's like, you don't have to wait for the hindsight to be 2020 to see it clearly. You can know that, hey, I don't understand what's going on right now, but on a future day, I will. In a future present moment, it will all make sense. And you can hang your hat on that now and connect to that energy now and allow your present moment to be beautiful, even if it seems to be chaos. And that just reminded me to our presence practice once again earlier, it was a lot of noise going on, but we didn't allow that to, you know, all right, we're not going to do our presence practice. Hey, it was made it even more important to do our presence practice and connect to ourselves and allow all this to just be noise. And the truth of it is to be seen within. And as you can connect to yourself, you understand that all of this can be whatever it needs to be. But as long as you have that connection to yourself, you'll always be at home. You'll always be in alignment. Your presence will always be magical. So that being said, I'm being called to go into tarot now. I'll see if there's any, oh yeah. And as I was gonna say, it's like, I got go right here on the split. And then right under that is pronto. It's like, yeah, it's time to wrap it up. It's like, hey, you can't make this up. Oh, and then the farewell message with the I love you. And it's like, yeah, man, all things are supporting us. And I hope you see, like, these cards are just a tool of the energy. The energy is what's real. And it's like, our energy and us as beings have so much influence over all this physical stuff. And it's like, allow the power to be within you, because that's where the power belongs. You know, it's within us as individuals, within us as a collective. And all this is just products. And it's like, I asked a question, I felt a call to move on. I shuffled the cards a little bit. The cards confirmed that, you know. It's like, yeah, go, pronto. And it's like, that's the reality of the situation. It's like, we're at the center of all these energies. And it's a beautiful thing, honestly. It's a really beautiful thing. And that makes me even more excited for the way we're going to close out our reading today. So definitely stay tuned and stick with it to the end if you want to have some fun. But yeah, that being said, hey, time for tarot. And I have no idea what's going to come out, but I'm definitely excited. I feel like the stage has been set, the tone has been set. And yeah, I'm excited to see what type of messages come out. And as I was shuffling, I heard slow down, like take my time. And yeah, now the energy feels more charged. I was gonna say the cards feel really calm today, but then that's when I heard slow down. And as I slowed down my shuffling and kind of took my time, I feel their energy and they're there and they're very charged. So yeah, that could be a message for somebody, or hey, everybody. Just a reminder, you know, as things get wild and hectic, that you don't have to move at the same speed as everything else. You can slow down and you can continue to move at your own pace. You can continue to hold your own peace and let that bleed out rather than being influenced by the outside. You can influence your outside. You can influence your surroundings. What's today's reading for? On Mondays, we do our collective reading. So it's what's in store for this week. Just what to remember, what reminders we need, what may be surfacing from now to next Monday. Just what we need to keep in mind as a collective. Oh, I'm starting. It's interesting that nothing's jumping out, and I just keep getting that call to slow down, like relax. Let's see what this card is. And yeah, you've got 9 of Swords. And this feels like that same illusion energy. And I'm just hearing it's all you. It's all you. Like, I'm also hearing depression. I'm hearing overthinking. It's like you have the power to free yourself. And it just feels like he's hiding from these swords that aren't even physical. They're like sitting above his head, and they're just products of his own thoughts, product of where he's been. Guilt, overthinking, anxiousness, all that. And it's like you're hiding from yourself. And it's like you're able to transmute that energy, because it is energy, you know. As scary as it feels, you're able to transmute it and use that energy in a way that serves you. And it just feels like, don't allow your energy to go to places that are oppressing you or that are making you feel this way, you know, making you feel like you have to hide, or making you feel like things are scary, because at the end of the day, it's all you. And it's like, how can you reframe these things as these anxious thoughts arise? How can you engage with them in a way that transforms them into something that serves you, you know? As, you know, like, for example, if an anxious thought is you're not good enough, that pops up, or like, you can't do that, who do you think you are? It's like, okay, you can answer that question. Who do I think I am? Not even who do I think I am, who do I know myself to be? I am the center of my universe. I am God embodied. I am the universe embodied. I'm able to shape my reality with my will. And it's like, that's who you know yourself to be. And you can reframe that, and you know, and allow that to become something that empowers you. You know, you don't have to leave it there and be like, oh man, you know, you're right, who do I think I am? Or, you know, you don't have to go down that rabbit hole in that direction. You can engage with that thought and reframe it in a way that works for you. And it's like, that's the power of you. And that just feels like what this call is right now. As these anxious thoughts come in, and as winter comes to a conclusion right now. And, you know, winter is an energy where it's very introspective. It sends you back to the mirror. It makes you slow down. It makes you really question yourself by design. But that doesn't mean you have to answer those questions in ways that don't serve you. And it's like, right now, it feels like, how can you re-engage yourself? How can you engage these thoughts in ways that serve you rather than ways that don't? It's like, you don't have to feel this way. And as you kind of address these swords one by one and bring them back to source and to the truth of the power of you, that it'll be one less sword to deal with. And in the end, you'll be more empowered, and you'll have the strength to stand up and to re-engage with yourself and with your divine magic. Because see, these swords are above you, but they're also overlaying the sky, the magic, the stars. And it's like you're using your power to harm yourself, whether it be physically or mentally, emotionally. It's like you're worth more than that, and you're way too powerful to use your power that way. It's like you have a choice. The choice is yours at the end of the day. But the call right now is to choose differently, to engage with yourself differently, and understand that these thoughts aren't necessarily you, you know. They're a product of conditioning. They're a product of present moments. They're a product of things that are no longer here right now. So in the present moment, your biggest superpower is your ability to choose. And when it comes to this, it's your ability to choose how you engage with these passing thoughts. Because you can honestly just let them pass and understand that they're not you, and that they're just a product of all type of things that aren't you as well. And if they don't serve you, there's no reason to engage with them and to take them as your own, you know? Because what you do when you engage with them, now that has an impact on you. But these thoughts, you can allow them to pass like clouds in the sky, you know? You can just observe them and see them like, oh, okay, I don't believe that, and allow it to go. Or you can, you know, reframe it, whatever feels right. But you don't have to accept these things as your truth, because they don't have to be, and they're not necessarily. And that's always a great reminder. Yeah, you're so powerful in your ability to shape your reality, and understand that all these things are neutral until you give them meaning, you know, because those same thoughts, I can give you the same one piece of paper with one message and give that same piece of paper to somebody else, and the impact will be completely different, even though the message is the same, the medium it came is the same, and all that. And at that point, what's different? The receiver. And that's the truth of anything. I can put you in the same situation with someone else, drop y'all in the same environment, and what happens to both of you will be completely different, just because you guys are two completely different people. And that's the reality of the situation. And it's like, all these things are neutral. The best thing ever is somebody's worst thing ever, you know? And it's like, you have the ability to choose how these things will impact you, and or if they will impact you at all. Like I said, you can allow these things to pass and just allow them to in one ear out the other, and allow them to keep moving. But you always have a choice, and the choice is always yours at the end. And I'm seeing 6 of Cups at the bottom. I was going to just keep going, but I also got the feeling that if I would have kept going, it would have just surfaced again. And this just feels like a divine opportunity to change how you engage with yourself and the world around you. And understanding, like, look, this feels like exactly what I was talking about, actually, as far as like observing and allowing things to pass by, you know? It's like there's always an exchange of energy going on. And it's like, this is you as the observer. And it's like, you're seeing these things. It's like, all right, here's a thought being offered to your human self. And it's like, you have the ability as the observer to see it and decide, like, do I want to take it? Do I not want to take it? But it's like, you don't have to take it just because it's being offered to you. And that's all it is an offering. It's information. And it's like, if that doesn't serve you, you can take your hand back and be like, no, thank you. And it's like, but this is you here. This isn't you. This is you. This is you as the observer, and this is your human, it feels like. And it's like your body is a vessel, it's a vehicle, and it's like, but you're the awareness behind it all. You're the consciousness behind it all. And it's like, you just have to sit there, sit pretty, and the fact that she's in blue feels like the emotional world, your inner world, and allowing it to be a part of you and wearing it as clothing, you know, but understanding that you're the observer. And it's like, look, these are the past offerings that you accepted, you see? Like, there's been millions of things like this. And it's like, all right, these were the ones that you're like, all right, yeah, that works for me. Okay, yeah, that's pretty. That works for the world I'm building. Okay, yeah, I can use that. And holding it. And it's like, but you don't have to take every single thing being offered to you if it doesn't serve you. And it's like, that just feels like a reminder right now. And it's like, these thoughts that come in, these things that people are putting on you, and advice people are giving you, you know, you don't have to take it all. And it's like, what you choose to accept becomes your reality. And that's your biggest superpower in it all, is your ability to decide and to choose, because you're always choosing timelines, and you're always creating your reality in your world at any given turn in every present moment. And under that, we have the 3 of Cups. And this also just feels like, it feels like celebration energy. It feels like your guides, God, the universe, and everything that's supporting you, celebrating you right now as you're continuing to build that knowledge of self, that you're continuing to nurture that connection to yourself, and understanding where you sit in it all, and reclaiming your space on the throne, your seat on the throne in your own life, and realizing that you are God embodied, you are the universe embodied in your life, that you are deciding what gets to exist, what doesn't get to exist, what's real, what isn't real, you're creating, and all that. And it's like, as you realize that the power you hold and the responsibility you hold in your own life, understand that, yeah, you're being celebrated, because that leads to everything. And it's like, you've been asking for a lot. You've been looking up and hoping things, you know, that you're granted all these things, and that the universe gives you this and gives you that. But it's like, the universe and your guides and everything has been waiting for you to realize that, yo, it's all you. And through your will, you're able to shape your own reality. And you can give all these things to yourself. Yes, they assist you and they support you and all this, but at the end of the day, you're sitting in the driver's seat, and they're all there to assist you. And you don't have to ask. You can express and claim and what's the word? Yeah, it's all you, and you can use your will to shape your reality however you need to. And just all you have to do is proclaim and own and step into it and move in it. I pre-written down 963, and that's significant because the last card was 6 of Cups. This is 3 of Cups. I was going to say that those come together to be a 9 and 9 of Cups, which is also a beautiful card. So the fact that you said that is like, yeah, that is the energy, and it's dope that you were able to feel it as well. But yeah, it's all here for us, man. And oh look, an Ace of Wands. And it's like with that new knowing, you're being called to action. It's to move with that. Don't just hold that, oh wow. And also with that is Ace of Swords. And then the 7 of Pentacles. And it's like you have an abundance here. And even just how that came out as I went to go tell you about Ace of Wands, like, oh wow, Ace of Swords. It's like, oh wow, 7 of Pentacles. And that's how the energy feels. It feels very abundant. And this Ace of Wands feels like an opportunity. Like now that you understand, like just where you sit in it all, just now that you understand exactly how powerful you are in your world creation, in your life creation, it's like, don't just sit on that energy or don't just wait for more proof of it. Go act with that, go create, go sit down and decide how you want your life to look, how you want this year to play out, especially as we're at the end of winter. Spring is coming very quickly and there's a bunch of newness, and we got the year of the fire horse. Like this year is a very big year for going in whatever direction you want to go, and you're going to see the fruits of all your labor and all your knowings. It's all going to unfold in that exact way. It's like right now, the best thing you can do is get clear on exactly where you're going, not where you're trying to go, not where you hope to go, not where you feel like, oh, if I'm lucky, I'll end up here, but where are you going, deciding and realizing that that's it. Like you sit right at the center of your universe. And as you know that, you'll continue to get the proof of that. And it's like, okay, now take this ace and go create with it. This Ace of Wands, go do your magic, go decide where you're headed this year and understand that it's done at that point. And now all you have to do is walk in it. And Ace of Swords feels like that same opportunity. And it's like the ability to cut away the anxious thoughts, the thoughts that don't serve you in your life creation. Because just as powerful as your high vibrational thoughts are, and you knowing yourself and all that is, trust that these anxious thoughts have power to create your world too. These assumptions you make about the world you live in have power to create your reality too. So it's like, make sure you're choosing the high vibrational thoughts, and as the ones that you don't want to actualize come up, that you cut those away and you release them, you reframe them, and don't allow them to take up space in your reality. Oh my goodness, bro. And as I said, we have the 7 of Pentacles, and then I don't know if you were able to see it, but the wind just flipped it over and it kind of stuck to my arm. And I have I wish I could show you, but I have a God tattoo. It's like a star, and it says God, which serves as a reminder. I have my infinity right here, and then the God tattoo is a reminder of where I sit in my reality. And this was the latest addition in my star. I have a couple other stars. Just to remind myself that I am God in my reality, and that I am God, I am an embodiment of God, the universe, and all that, and that I have the ability to create my life as I know myself to be able to. And as I continue to connect to that, and as I continue to connect to free will and the collective energy and the good of all and all that, that I have the ability to create my life in accordance to that. And the fact that this stuck to that, and under that is another ace, our Ace of Pentacles, which typically has been coming out at the end, right when we least expect it. But for it to be right here is even less where I expected it to pop up. And now we have 3 aces out at one time. But yeah, 7 of Pentacles, that abundant energy we were just talking about. And it's like, that's us right now. It's like there's so many opportunities presenting themselves right now for everything. Opportunities for action, opportunities for changing our mind and connecting to our mental landscape in a different way, opportunities to build in material abundance and to connect to our physical world in a different way. And it's like all these things come at the point you understand your connection to it all. You have that knowledge of yourself and where you sit in the grand scheme of your life, and you sit right at the center. You may not be the center of the universe, you may not be the center of everybody's universe, but you're the center of yours. You wake up every day as yourself. You go to sleep every day as yourself. Every experience that you've ever had has been through you, you know? Yeah, no matter what, you can't escape that. You can't escape yourself. And as you engage with everything, you engage with it through the lens of yourself. And it's like you are the center of your universe. You are the center of your reality. You are the focal point of your reality. And it's like as you understand that and embrace that and realize that that doesn't make you selfish, that doesn't make you arrogant or a narcissist, that there's so many opportunities that have been waiting to get to you. It's like it's all here for you. It's like there's an abundance. There's so much. It's like even as you feel like as I feel like I'm holding all this, you know, there's another ace somewhere in the deck. You know, there's more for where that came from. And it's like I feel grateful, like, oh my God, all these opportunities. But it's like, hey, there's definitely more. That's not all of them. And it's like that's the reality of right now. It's like we're in such an abundant energy right now. And it's like, and it feels like the energy, if you've been here from the beginning of this session, it's like there was so much noise. The wind was going crazy. It's like everything has been so charged. And even as I look around, there's been people walking by, there's been school buses, there's been so much activity out here. It's like that's the reality of the energy right now. It's like we find ourselves at the center of it, you know? It's like we're working with it. And as long as you can be aware and conscious of it, it's to be worked with. And that's such a beautiful thing and such a beautiful existence. And yeah, man, it's so beautiful. And I was about to move on, but under that Ace of Pentacles, I saw the Queen of Pentacles. And I was going to move on, but then I'm seeing how, you see how it's like, it feels like the grapes, the very grapes that are right here. And it's like, it's a part of her. It's a part of her garb. And it's like, that's the reality of the situation. It's like all these things are not separate from you. This abundance is not separate from you. It's a very product of you and all the work you've done and who you know yourself to be. And the very fact that you know yourself to be connected to it all, that you know yourself to set the center of your reality. And it's like these things that are coming in, the physical abundance that you find yourself receiving, and that if you haven't found yourself receiving it, that it's coming in right now. Understand that it's all a product of you. Don't give it too much power. Don't, at that point when it starts coming, give your power away to it as if it's something separate from you, or like you have to do what you can to keep it, or, you know, protect it or anything like that, because it's only a product of you. And it came because of how you know yourself to be connected to it all. So when these things come in, it's even more important than it is now to understand that you are at the center of it and that there is no separation. And that, yeah, it's all just a product of you. And it's all a product of your inner world. And it's like you become wealthy on the outside because you understand yourself to be wealthy on the inside. Because you are wealthy on the inside. That you are wealth, you are rich, you are all these things already. And your outer world has no choice but to reflect that back to you at the very point that you understand that and you start to move in that energy. And yeah, and that's just what this feels like. It's like you are abundance. You are the physical manifestations that you are looking for. You are them. And they are a product of you. And it's like there's so much more where that came from as long as you continue to connect to that truth within yourself and to move in those knowings and don't allow anything to be bigger than you, and don't give your power away to anything, because you are the center of your universe. You are God embodied. You are the universe embodied. There is nothing to chase outside of yourself because it's all you. And yeah, that's always a dope reminder for sure. And that was a great sequence. I'm really grateful for that. Couldn't have made that up if I wanted to. Like, yeah, that was such a divine unfoldment. And that's what we're in the middle of right now. The most divine unfoldment ever. That's the reality. No matter how crazy things feel on the outside, no matter how loud the noise gets, how thick the illusions get, the reality is we're in the middle of the greatest story ever told. And as long as you can continue to connect to yourself and connect to your inner world and understand that that's the reality of your reality, the more you'll see and the more proof you'll get. But the proof will not come from the outside first, because it's all products. And we got Two of Wands. And this feels like where to next. Now that you know all these things, where are we headed? Where are you going? It's like now you zoomed out. Now you can see your world from a completely different vantage point. You know, it feels like before we were just in it, you know, we couldn't really see it. But it's like through understanding where we sit in it all, we're able to zoom out and become the observer of our world without, and not just be lost in it. And it's like, all right, now that I can see my world clearly, where do I want to go to next? Where am I being called to next? How do I want my world to look in this next season? And it's like, yeah, that's the opportunity being presented right now. And on the bottom, 7 of Wands. And that comes together to be 9 again. And just like the cards earlier, the 6 and 3 came together to be 9. And it feels like we're at the end of a season, and we are, as winter is coming to a close, as we just ended a 9-year, and we ended the year of this wood snake, and we're still at the beginning of the year of the fire horse. As we're in Pisces season, which is the end of the zodiac before we go back to the beginning. We're in a culminative energy right now. And it's just like, stand your ground in your knowings, and don't allow outside noise or people who are doubting or people who are questioning you to make you question yourself. Because as you question yourself, you're disconnecting from the truth. And the truth is that everything you know it to be. The truth is that you have the ability to shape your reality with your will through your knowings. And the more you can connect to those knowings and not allow doubt to creep in, the more powerful you will be, the more powerful your magic will be, the more you'll get the proof of the fact that you can trust yourself and your world. And it's like, where are we going next? And stand your ground and understand that you don't need anybody's approval on where you're going or anybody's validation for it to be realistic or for it to be real. Understand that things will unfold as you allow them to unfold and as you continue to trust yourself. Yeah. Oh, and then we got 10 of Pentacles on the split. And this just feels like a call to remember that, yeah, the things on the outside look nice, but you see, if you look too fast, you'll be like, oh, okay, 10 of Pentacles. But it's like, there's only 9 out here. Do you guys see where that last one is? There's 3, and then there's 3 out here. And that last one is where? The last one's in there. And it looks different. And it also matches him, you know? Like, these are pentacles that look different. But that last pentacle in there is a whole different color. It matches the eye. It matches, you know, the water around. It's blue just like he is. And it's like, that's your pinnacle. Your pinnacle, the true pinnacle, is within you. You know, it's easy to look around. It's easy to look on social media and see everybody living lives that you feel like you want for yourself. And, you know, they have the riches that you wish you had and all type of things. But it's like, yo, you're not separate from the things that are for you. What you actually want is within you. And as you connect to yourself, you'll be able to get those results on the outside. The outside will reflect it. And you'll get results that are you, you know. You'll get your own abundance. You'll get your own riches. You'll get your own experiences that are more you, you know. Because it's easy to look on social media and be like, oh man, they have everything. But it's like, you have no idea what their life is actually like, you know. It could all just be smoke and mirrors, and, you know, they took a good picture, and as soon as they put their phone back in their pocket, they went back to being depressed, or they went back to being sad, or they went back to owing all these people money, and now they're trying to repay all these debts so they can continue to look rich and look wealthy. And, you know, or maybe, you know, they are owned by these corporations, you know, and they have to show up a certain way because all these people are in their pockets. And it's like, you don't need to spend too much time looking outside yourself at everybody else's abundance, everybody else's riches, because the truest abundance and the truest wealth that will feel like you and will feel like freedom and lead to everything you want is within you. And the more time you spend looking outside, the less time you're seeing it. So you need to close your eyes and look within yourself and connect to yourself and realize that the more connected you are to yourself, the more you'll be able to see your outer world and your reality reflect that very connection. And that's the call right now. And it's like, don't fall for all these illusions. Connect to yourself and realize that, like I said, you are God embodied. You are the center of your universe. And everywhere you want to go can be found within yourself. There's nothing outside of you that's going to lead you to more of yourself, you know. And even if there was, understand that that's just a reflection of your inner world out on the outside to push you back to your inner world, you know, and back to yourself and to more connection, because it all starts with you. Yeah, and I just split to, let's see. Oh, wow, that's crazy. I just split to the 4 of Cups, and I saw it earlier and I didn't pull it. I just kept going. But I split to it just now. And then under that is the cards we were just looking at. Oh, and it was in reverse. And under that is the cards we were just looking at. 2 of Wands and the 7 of Wands. Yeah, and then we got 6 of Swords on there. We're on the move. Big infinity energy. And it's funny because my tattoo came up earlier. I was just showing y'all that. And it's like, you are infinite, and you are infinitely connected to it all. And it's like, you're headed towards everything that's for you. And look, he's not putting any effort. He's not rowing or anything like that. He's taking those high vibrational thoughts. Swords is a suit of thoughts in the mind and air. And it's like, he's taking those thoughts that serve him, that match where he's trying to go, and he's allowing himself to flow in that direction. He's not forcing anything. He's not doing anything other than existing and trusting himself and trusting the flow of his inner world, his waters, and allowing it to lead him everywhere he's going. Look, it's leading him directly into the sun, directly into his power, directly into his connection to it all. But this Four of Cups feels like another opportunity, and more heavy emphasis on these opportunities being handed from the divine, from our spirit, from everything. And it's like, you have the ability, and again, we're being called to our ability to discern, our ability to choose. It's like, he doesn't have to accept all these things. Look, he's got past offerings right here that served him, and look, he seems content with that, his little one right here. And it's like, he can decide to take this, but he knows that just because it's bigger, just because it's being offered to him, doesn't necessarily mean it's any better than this right here. And so at the point, this is all you need. This is way better than this. Just because it looks flashier, because it's bigger, doesn't necessarily mean it's better. And it's like, that's the reality. When we're always looking outside of ourselves, bigger does always seem better. What somebody else has always seems better than what we have. But it's like, once you know that you always have what you need at any given point, it's like, yeah, that looks nice, but I really only need this right now. And you can be at peace with this, because at the point where you're always chasing bigger and better, like, people can get you in that way. It's like, oh, I know him. All I got to do is offer him something that looks shiny. He's going to come and do whatever I need him to do because he's always chasing. And it's like, at the point, this is all you need. Hey, that's all you need. Allow that to be what you have. Don't go chasing bigger things. Don't go accepting every offer just because it looks nice. At the point you don't need this, hey, no, thank you. I'm all right. And that's okay. And it's like, your inner world and your connection to it all is where you're building your world from. And that has to be enough for you. Or else, you'll be at the mercy of the outside and what's all just products and results anyway. And it's like, the best thing you can do is realize that you are the star. You are the center of your universe. And you are connected to it all. And to bathe in that reality of your connection. And understand that you're not separate from any of these things. Like, look, these are the stars. This is space. But it's being poured out like water. They're bathing in the stars and using the stars like water. And I'm also being called to say that Aquarius might be significant. You might be an Aquarius, or just the energies that Aquarius represent might be significant. As far as just being the water bearer, as far as being just community oriented and being future driven and technology and just all that. And yeah, this is card 17, so that might be significant as well. And it's like, you are the star. You are connected to it all. And your inner world is just as connected to the cosmic and the galactic sources and support that's out there as well. And it's like, when you look within, you realize that it's all within you. The universe is within you, Can't spell universe without you, The very first letter in that is you. And it's like, that's the truth. And then boom, we got King of Pentacles on the bottom. It's like, we got the Queen earlier. It's like, we're coming into balance. That masculine and feminine energy within ourselves is coming into balance. Our ability to receive and our ability to act and our ability to move is coming into balance right now. It's like, back to that grape energy. It's like, you are abundance. And it's like, now that you have the ability to understand that, it's like, now you get to act in ways that ground it in. It's like, take those knowings and do something with them, create with them. And allow it to bleed out into your reality from you, Your proof doesn't come from the outside first. It comes from the inside, and you put it out on the outside, You allow your outside to reflect what you already understand on the inside. So as these opportunities present themselves, move in that abundance. Move in the fact that you know that you're connected to it all. Move in the fact that you know you're wealthy. You know you're rich. You are all these things already. So now choose the things that feel like that, As opportunities come in and the opportunity to choose timeline come in, and you're able to choose lack or abundance, continue to choose abundance because you know that you're abundant. You know that you're rich. You know, when you order something on DoorDash today and you get faced with that choice of tipping or not tipping, you know, it might feel like, dang, like I only have a few dollars, let me hold on to them, let me not tip. And it's like, understand that in that moment you're choosing a lack timeline, because if you understood that you were rich, if you understood that you were wealthy, you would tip, right? Like if you realized that you had $1 billion in your account, you wouldn't be so fearful to give $3, $4, $2 or whatever as a tip. You would just give it without thinking about it. You might even give $20 or something just to make somebody's day. And it's like, that's the reality of what you're choosing right now. So if you're choosing to not tip, and this is just an example, this is not a pressure to go tip or anything, this is just an example of an opportunity to choose lack or choose abundance. It's like when the opportunity comes in, choose from that. Choose like, okay, what would I choose if I understood that I'm abundant and that I'm wealthy? Because I do understand that. And you would, more times than not, you would choose to tip. So it's like, all right, in that opportunity, tip and choose, and understand that in that moment you're choosing the abundant timeline. You're choosing the timeline of richness. You're choosing a wealthy timeline. Understand that that's a seed, and through that you're grounding in your reality. You're coming closer into resonance with the proof of everything that you are. You're coming into resonance with that abundance. And it's like, in those moments you have to choose those timelines, and those are opportunities, and those where the shifts happen. You know, the big shifts don't happen in those big things you wake up and the big opportunity comes. It happens in the small things, because understand that your magic can be seen in your choices. Your ability to shift and choose timeline is in your choices. So it's like, it may seem small, but it is that deep. So it's like every opportunity you get to make an abundant decision, an abundant choice, and to choose an abundant timeline, choose it. And it may feel like something small, like, oh, it's just a couple of dollars, like that's not really going to make a difference. But make that choice and see how it bleeds out into the rest of your day. And when you do make that choice, allow yourself to feel good and proud about it. Like, wow, like I really chose the abundant thing. I really made a rich decision. And continue to do that and see how you start to feel on the inside, and realize how you actually begin to feel rich. You begin to feel wealthy, and then you start to move in that. You know, now you're moving around. You got a different bounce in your step. You know, you're eating the food, feeling good. Like, wow, like this was a part of a rich decision. So now you're consuming and you're nourishing your body in that richness and that rich energy, and those seeds are inside of you, and they become trees, and now you're engaging in different things. Now you feel good. You go say hi to this person. It's like, wow, you feel good today. What's going on? You know, and now you're having abundant conversations. You're telling them about, oh yeah, you know, I'm doing this thing now. You know, I'm understanding where I sit in my reality, and you know, and it bleeds out, and it really permeates throughout your reality, and that's the truth of the matter. And it's like, it really is that deep. So every opportunity you get to make those abundant choices and choose timelines, because you're choosing timelines. You're choosing timelines when you're choosing who to talk to, when you're choosing what to eat, how to entertain yourself, whether to create or rest. Like, you're choosing timelines. So trust that, yeah, as you're continuing to be able to choose the things that are a match for where you're headed, that you're going to be closer to there. You're getting closer and closer and closer, and your reality is getting more and more refined, and will continue to reflect the very shifts that you've already made. I was going to say the shifts you're making, but you already made them. And now you're just having to choose in accordance to that, and allow yourself to continue to choose the timelines that match, because you'll continue to get opportunities. Let's see. Hey, the Dream Maker, welcome to the party. We're definitely in the middle of some high vibe energy right now. And I just split back to the Two of Wands. And it's like, yeah, as we continue to navigate this energy, continue to bring yourself back to this point. Zoom out at the end and be like, okay, now that I heard this, now that I have this way of thinking, does this work for me? Am I keeping this? Hey, you know, you might decide that what I just said and everything I just said doesn't work for you. And at that point, hey, you're able to choose. And you know, you can let it just fall away. It's like, where are you headed? If it matches, okay, keep it closed. And now decide where you're headed now. And continue to zoom out and realize that you are the observer, and that you are the center point of your reality. And I just split to justice. And this feels like allowing your heart and your mind to come into balance. And then as you do that, understand that, look, the ear in the middle, it's like, allow your heart and your head to come into balance, and then listen, and then trust the guidance you're getting from that, and allow that to be your reality, and move in those knowings, move in your knowings. And look, her head being a comet feels like, understand that you're connected to it all. that you are a product of the very energies that you want to work with, that the very things that you're asking for support, as you're hoping that the universe gives you this opportunity, that opportunity, and provides you with these things. Understand that you're not separate from it. And the more you act separate from it, the more you'll feel separate from it. But understand that you are at the center of it all, and it's all within you as well. So within, so as without, or as within, so without, or whatever that saying is. And as above, so below, it's all together, and it's all a mirror, and it's all a spectrum. But there is no separation at the end of the day. Are you doing someone else's reading or my own? It's a collective reading. Reading for the collective, reading for you, reading for anybody who's going to come across this right now or at a later date, whenever they do. And on the split, Ace of Pentacles again. And it's like your physical world is changing, man. And it changes as your connection to it all changes. As as your knowledge of where you sit in it all changes, your physical world changes to reflect that. So if you're not liking the reflections you're getting, the best thing you can do is tune into your inner world and get in contact with that operating system. Because the operating system for your life is within you. Your reality is reflected from the inside out. It's like, yes, there's the collective and all the energies that play out. But at the end of the day, the things you notice are completely different based on your inner world. Like when I'm upset and I leave the house, what I notice is completely different than when I feel so connected and so full of love and everything. Like when I leave the house and I feel so loved, I'm noticing heart shapes and things. I'm looking at a cloud and it reminds me of something lovely, or I'm noticing how nice everything is, and I'm hearing the birds. When I'm upset, I'm noticing different things. I'm noticing jerks, and I'm noticing people giving funny looks. I'm noticing, all type of things that match. And it's like your inner world has such a great bearing on your outer experience. And the more you connect to that inner world and you're able to navigate it, and look, as I say that, the Ace of Pentacles flew away. And under that, it revealed the Ten of Cups in reverse, but it doesn't feel like a reverse energy. So I'm going to turn it. And it's like the Ten of Cups. As you understand your connection to it all and recognize the role your inner world plays in it all, you realize that the Ten of Cups is within you as well. Your satisfaction and your alignment and all that is within you. And once you connect to it on the inside, your outside will have no choice but to reflect that back to you. And if you're looking for your Ten of Cups moment, understand that the best thing you can do is make yourself feel like the Ten of Cups. Become the Ten of Cups on the inside, Connect to the things that make you feel loved and feel fulfilled and supported. And the things that truly pour into your cup. And understand that it will bleed out into your reality and you will get the reflections back. And yeah, understand under that is judgment. And then that feels like another call to action, a call to decide. It's like, what are you choosing? It's like, choose the things that match. And understand that at the end of the day, you get the final call. And yeah, that also feels like a beautiful reminder. And under that, we got Ten of Swords. And this just feels like allowing that past version of you to die, As you understand more, understand that you're not the same person that you were even 10 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago. Definitely not the same person you were at the beginning of the session. So it's like, allow that past version of you to die and allow those past ways of operating to die as well. And I'm also being drawn to the star on that middle sword. The other swords are kind of snakes and stuff like that, but that middle sword has a person holding a star at the top. And that just reminds me of my tattoo, my God tattoo. And it's like, understand that right at the middle, it's you, and not to overly subscribe or overly resonate to these versions of you, because at the end of the day, if you're living right, you're going to continue to shed skin. You're going to continue to go through these deaths and rebirths as you continue to change, as your inner world continues to change, as your knowledge continues to change. And it's like the best thing you can do is allow these past versions to pass and to shed them and to embrace the new versions of you as they present themselves, as you become them. You don't owe your past versions anything, If you're not the same person as you were 2 hours ago, you owe it to yourself to now be this new version of you, even if it's directly a contradiction to who you were 2 hours ago, If 2 hours ago you didn't believe that you were at the center of your universe, if you believed that you were at the mercy of all these things, but now you understand yourself to be at the center of the universe and to be connected to it all, and that it all starts within you, hey, you don't owe it to yourself to like, oh man, I kind of have to transition into these knowings. Like, no, you can be relentless and be like, okay, everything that doesn't match my new knowings has to go, whether it be people, dynamics, relationships, anything. And it's like you owe it to your new self to honor that. And it's like, hey, you might be a completely different person 2 hours from now. You might be a completely different person 2 days from now. But it's like, you at that point, then you honor them, but you don't owe these past versions of yourself or even future versions of yourself anything, because at the end of the day, all that's real is the present anyway. And it's like the future is a present moment that hasn't come yet. And it's like when it comes, hey, you'll owe yourself then to be authentic in who you are then. But right now, who you are is the only person you owe any authenticity to and owe any power to in how you show up. So yeah, it feels like allow yourself to be exactly who you know yourself to be. And on the split, we're back at the 10 of Pentacles. And it's like, remember where that most important pinnacle is, and it's within you. And that's the newest pinnacle there is. And so you can chase all these pinnacles, and they might give you what feels like a little bit of success, but at the end of the day, the true fulfillment comes from the one that comes from within you. And it's like all this is results, and not even just all your results, other people's results. And it's like you're going to get other people's results as long as you chase them. And it's like the best thing you can do is connect to yourself and allow it to bleed from the inside out. So I'm definitely feeling called to start wrapping this up. So I'm going to pull, let's see, a couple more, maybe one more. Just depends on what comes out and where it goes. But yeah, and I'm going to move on to getting our closing messages. And yeah, as I say that, the sun presents itself again. And it's like, yeah, this is it, man. Our path is being illuminated. The truth is being illuminated. And as I say that, we talked about this cup card earlier, this cup, 9 of Cups. And it's like, this is it, you know. We've lived a lot of lives up to this point. I'm being called to these cups as some are more full than others. They're different sizes and stuff. Like, and this just feels like the ways of living that we've been in, the different things we've tried to get to where we wanted to go, and just everything in between. And it feels like this is it. All these cups have led to this cup. And then even this cup down here that's pouring this majestic liquid in, you know, it may have appeared to be so divine and everything, but at the point it's not the right cup. It doesn't matter what it looks like. And it's like, yeah, it's all divine and everything, but it's not the one. So it's like this one, made to the untrained eye, looks less magical than this one, but it's the right one. So at that point, it is the cup. And it feels like that's where we are right now. It's like all roads have led here. And it's like we're not chasing anything. We're not falling for illusions. We're not looking outside of ourselves or anything like that. It's like we understand that what's for us is for us, and it doesn't have to make sense to anybody. It doesn't have to look any type of particular way, and it doesn't need the validation of anybody outside of ourselves. And no one else can validate it or invalidate it. Only we can. And we can give other people the power to do so, but even in that, it's like you're the one doing it. So it's like at the end of the day, you have the final say. And it's like, this is it. And it feels like a cheers. And it's like, cheers to everywhere we've been and everywhere we're going. But understanding that where we are right now is exactly where we're supposed to be. And where we find ourselves in a little bit will be exactly where we're supposed to be. Where we find ourselves 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 15 years from now, 15 minutes from now will be exactly where we're supposed to be. And it's like, yeah, it feels like a beautiful culmination, honestly. And it's like, I just feel called to say I'm so proud of you. And I am proud of you. And I understand that you didn't get here lightly and that all roads led here. And yeah, so definitely take some time to celebrate yourself and to express some gratitude to yourself for allowing yourself to get here and for continuing to show up in what hasn't been an easy ride, honestly. Oh yeah, and now I'm getting repeats. Oh wow, repeats everywhere. So I'm definitely going to call this and allow that last card to be the last card. Because, yeah, if you're new here, when the cards start to repeat like this, that means it's time to wrap it up. But we got Ace of Wands. We got 10 of Cups, which came out earlier. And then I'm seeing Justice. I'm seeing Judgment on the bottom, which just came out. And I got, oh, wow. And I'm seeing Justice right here on the split. And then we got Ace of Swords right here, which came out earlier. And yeah, when the cards start repeating like that, it's definitely on. Look, Ten of Swords right here. It's like, yeah, when the cards start to repeat like that, that's them saying we've said everything we wanted to say. But yeah, all right, I'm gonna shuffle, see if maybe we can get one new card, and then I'm gonna move into our closing messages. Yeah, today, I was gonna say tonight. Interesting. Today has felt so different, man. The energy has been very, very charged. Yeah, but it's still just as profound, still just as powerful, and wow. Okay. And I saw this card as I was looking at the repeats, but I ignored it because it wasn't a repeat. And look, and then underneath that is more repeats, so this will definitely be the last card. But yeah, we got the Seven of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, got Six of Cups as well. All that came out earlier. So, oh, and this card feels significant too, so I'll read it. But yeah, Nine of Pentacles. And it just feels like that call to detach again. Like, now that you know all these things, don't even allow this to become anything to obsess over, anything to think so hard about, or now you're starting to research everything, or like, like now you're holding all these things so close and everything. It's like, hey, now that you know all this, detach for a little bit. That's the best thing you can do as far as integration goes. It's like, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and then kind of allow it to like fall from your mind and fall from your energy. Just go exist, go do what you feel called to do, and understand that the truth of these things will continue to flesh out. And in your detachment, the very things that you're looking for will be able to present themselves, because the law of detachment is very significant. And it's like, as you're continuing to wait and look and look and look and try to look for all these things, that you're in an energy that's disconnected from the very things you're asking for. And in that process, you're in a lack vibration, so these things cannot come in. And that can be seen, as at the point where you're waiting for something to unfold, or you're waiting for a phone call, and you're sitting there by the phone waiting, and it never comes. And it seems like at the very point you go do something else, that boom, the phone rings. It's like, that's the law of detachment in action. It's like your manifestations are the same way. It's like, allow yourself to breathe and disconnect a little bit and go just do something. Go do something that feels like this. Like, if you're waiting for riches and material abundance to come in and to be present, go do things that make you feel that way. Go connect with something that makes you feel rich right now. Go do something that makes you feel wealthy right now. If you're waiting to meet your divine counterpart, or a love of your life to come in, hey, go do something that makes you feel loved right now. Go connect with your loved ones, your family, or your best friend, people that make you feel loved. And understand that while you're embodying those energies and those vibrations, that at those points you're a perfect match for those very things that you're waiting on. And we're big magnets, so as you find yourself in those vibrations that match what you're calling in, understand that you're pulling them right in. So this feels like a call, now that you've heard all these things, to detach a little bit and to now allow them to play out through your detachment, through you engaging in the things that make you feel like you, and trust that the things that are you will play out and will come in. And the last card is Seven of Cups. And it's like, you have so many options being presented to you right now. And it's like, what feels like you? Remember, you're choosing timelines. Choose the things that feel like you, and allow everything else to fall away. And it's like, there's all type of stuff. There's good, there's bad, there's ugly, there's big, there's small, there's colorful, there's dark. There's all these things. And it's like, the world is yours, man. It's like, you can go in whatever direction feels right, whatever direction you want, honestly. Even if it doesn't feel right, you can go in that direction too. But it's like, the best way to align to your highest timeline, and to the timeline in which you have everything that you want, is to connect to the things that make you feel that way now. And it's like, you may not have everything at your disposal, you may be trying to attract in a yacht, and you may not have a yacht right now, but I guarantee you, if you connect to the energy that's actually underneath your desire for the yacht and what the yacht represents, that you have things in your life that match that, Because if you really sit with yourself, like, all right, what does a yacht actually represent? If it represents freedom and luxury and abundance, it's like you have things that feel like that now, you know? It's like you can go draw a bath for yourself and connect to that luxury. You can light a candle and play your favorite music and put on a nice robe and connect to those feelings and those vibrations of luxury. And it's like you can connect to those things now and understand that as you choose those things that match that, like I said, we're big magnets, and understand that as you connect to those frequencies now, that you're attuned to those frequencies, and that you're making yourself a vibrational match for the things that you're calling in, and that you'll be a match for that yacht, and in those vibrations and that frequency that you're pulling that yacht right on in. And it's like that's the reality of the situation, and that's the power of your choices. Remember, you're choosing timelines. I'm going to continue to remind y'all that. And it's like, what are you choosing? And understand that whether you're choosing consciously or unconsciously, you're choosing. So the best thing you can do is be aware and be intentional in your decision making and the choices you're making in any given moment. So hey, the rest is up to you. And that being said, that concludes the tarot section for Monday Magic, y'all. And yeah, I just tried to cheat and get to see if there's anything else, and just another repeat. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them away. And thank y'all. And yeah, that was really dope. That was, I don't know, that felt very different. And if you've been here a while, I'm sure you understand why I say that and how it felt different. And it probably felt different to you too. Ooh. With that being said, that brings us to our closing messages. And if you've been here since the beginning of the session, I told y'all earlier that for the closing messages, I wanted to inject some play in. So we're not going to go back to Oracle. I brought a couple things. And the biggest thing for me, I got called to do this while I was in the shower, honestly, getting ready for today. I know just in reading and tarot spaces and just in general, I feel like a lot of power is given to the cards, you know. And it feels like, oh, the cards, or we're talking to the cards, or we're asking the cards, or we're consulting the cards. And it's like, the cards are just a tool, honestly. What we're actually working with is the energy. What we're working with is the energy, our intention, and our awareness. And it's like, you can give, I always tell people, if you've ever got a private reading with me, one of the first things I say in the beginning is like, yo, I can give a reading with anything. You can give a reading with anything. Because it's all, what we're working with is the energy. And you can give a reading with energy as long as, especially if you're familiar with it. Like, I can give you an energy based on how a dog reacts to you when you walk in. Because, especially if I know the dog very well, because there's times where dogs are very intuitive as well. And like pregnant women, they won't jump on them because they understand that they're pregnant. And there was a time where, this is a whole side story, but there's a time where my knee was all messed up and I was like on crutches, or I was using a cane, like I had stitches, and at one point it was infected. It was real bad. And I went to my best friend's house, who has a dog that I've known since the dog was a baby. And every time I go over there, the dog, which is named True, always jumps on me, always is very excited to see me, always jumps on me and gives me the most love with no regard for nothing, just knocking me over and all type of stuff. But the one time I went over there and my knee was messed up, she did not jump on me. She came and greeted me very, very gentle. And it's not even like I was in there like, oh, in pain. Like, I was happy to see her. I was like, hey, True. Like, I was just as excited as I usually am, but she was very like gentle. She came up, she was like, you know, like just really loving, still gave me affection, still kind of came close for me to embrace and all that, but there was no jumping. And when I say every single time she jumps on me, whether she's seen me yesterday, 15 minutes ago, she's jumping. And in that moment where it was probably not in my best interest for her to jump on me, she didn't. And it's like, that being said, it's like, I can give you a reading based on how True reacts to you. And it's like, oh, okay, I'm picking up, like, there might be something going on with you. You know, I can do that. And it's like, that's the reality of the situation. So I say all that to say that you can give a reading with anything. So I brought a few different things out here just to kind of play with it a little bit and see what type of closing messages we can get. And I normally use a traditional for reading myself. And I ain't lying when I say I just drew our first 3 cards today. 3 hearts, 3 of cups, 3. Wow. No, I believe you, and that's just in line with what we're saying. Like what we're really working with is the energy. It's not the cars themselves. And it's like you can pull them and you'll get the same messages. And it's like because that's the reality of the energy that we're working with. And thank you for sharing that because I definitely believe you. And yeah, that being said, I brought a few different things. This first thing is probably be the easiest thing to kind of translate into energy reading because it has like little matches in there. And it's like to spark creativity. So it has a bunch of like little things to do. Like if you find yourself like creatively blocked or you don't know what direction to go in. So I'm going to start with these. And I'm probably just going to pull one or two and then go on to the next thing and do one or two and go on to the next thing just to get through it. But hey, let's just have some fun. And if the readings don't come out well, then hey, it just wasn't meant to be. But let me shuffle these up a little bit. But yeah, I've seen people give readings with Pokemon cards. I've seen people give readings looking in a bowl of water. Like, I've seen all type of stuff. And it's like, that's the reality of it. As long as you're familiar with the medium or you're familiar with yourself and your intuition, you can give a reading with anything. But this first one out, it says, do one thing with your hands that you usually use a machine for. And honestly, this just feels like getting back to basics. Pokemon card readings, yeah, there's this reader on YouTube, I can't remember his name right now, but yeah, like he'll pull Pokemon cards and he's like, oh yeah, I got Pikachu, and like it's really dope. It's really dope, and it's like really profound to me because I'm like, yeah, that's the reality of the situation. Anything that you're familiar with, like you can definitely give a reading with it. But yeah, this says do one thing with your hands that you usually use a machine for. And this just feels like right now, it just feels like getting back to basics and remembering that at the root of it all, like all this stuff is to help make things more convenient, but it doesn't make things necessarily better, you know, because the best thing you can do is there's energy that's exchanged through your hand. There's energy that's exchanged through your hands. So it's like, as you're like cooking, for example, like, yes, you can use all these tools to cook, but understand that the further removed you are from what you're using, the less energy of yourself that you're injecting into it. And it's like touching the food is injecting it with your energy and injecting it with your love, and it's allowing the food to, it's an exchange between you and the food that you're cooking, and it allows it to give yourself what you need, and it's picking up the energy from yourself and putting it into it and then going back within yourself, and now you're recycling that energy and it's allowing itself to feed you. And it's like this feels like a reminder of that. And it's like the more you can inject in these things, and the more you can inject yourself. Like I'm also seeing like ChatGPT and like if you're someone who uses ChatGPT to write up everything, and to the point where it's like your own voice isn't necessarily at the forefront of your messages or your post or whatever you're using it for. It's like the more you can inject into the things that you're working with, the better. And that feels like always an important reminder, because it's like the energy of you leads to everything that you want for yourself. So the more you remove yourself from the things you're engaging with, the less the results will reflect you, the less of a seed of you it will be, and all that. So if you're somebody who want results that are hyper specific for you, that's going to take you injecting more of yourself into it. So that feels like a reminder of that. And yeah, that was really dope. So yeah, I'm definitely going to pull one more, and then we can go on to the next thing that I brought. This one says, introduce some ambient noise, try music, or work outside. And this just feels like, a call to connect with nature. But it also feels like not being too secluded and not feeling like you have to do all your work like away from everything. Like sometimes you don't have to be in complete stone cold silence to do your work. Sometimes injecting some outer energy works, you know, like sometimes, hey, go do some work at that coffee shop. If you're somebody who typically does all your work in the dark in your room, like, hey, go sit outside for a bit. And if you can, like, if that's something you can take on the go. And you never know what type of inspiration's out there. And, the sun falling on you might add to your work. It might help inject some newness into your energy, especially if you're somebody who's been blocked, or you feel like, like you kind of have been making the same things over and over again, or you find yourself going the same directions you typically go in. Or even if it has nothing to do with work and it's just yourself, it's like, hey, put yourself in new environments, invite some outside energy in, and just connect with different things and allow it to, because like we said, what we're working with is the energy. So if you find yourself in an energy that feels like stagnancy, hey, inject some new energy, allow some other forces to come into play and engage with your energy and to change the results you're getting. And yeah, just place yourself somewhere different. If you feel like your life has kind of just been the same cycle of sameness, hey, go to a party, go to a coffee shop, go to the store, go just walk around your neighborhood and look around. Just place yourself in different places. And I'm also being called to Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, that movie. And yeah, the energy's on 10 out here, man. And in that movie, if you've seen it, I don't want to spoil it too much, but there's this element of like, I'm trying to kind of buy time for it to pass. There's this element of like time traveling and timeline selection and time jumping. And it's like, in order to do so, the character had to do very specific things. And it's like very specific things aligned her to different timelines. And it's like, that's the reality of the situation. It's like, if you find yourself doing the same things over and over again, you're going to get those same timelines. So it's like, if you want different, hey, try something different. Do something completely out of the ordinary. Do something you would never do. Go somewhere you would never go, and see how that changes the results you get, how the energy is completely different. And it's like, if you want results you've never gotten, you got to do things you've never done. And that's what this feels like right here, as far as introduce some ambient noise. It's like, hey, go introduce some things into your existence, into your work, into your play that you typically wouldn't, and see how the results you get will be results that you typically wouldn't have gotten. And it's like, that's a great way to shake things up in your reality. But yeah, that was dope. And dang, that kind of makes me want to incorporate these into more readings. But like I said, I feel like I felt like those would have been easy to kind of translate, just because they're like little messages and there is a bit of randomness to it already. Let's see. The next thing I brought, which is kind of fun, is a yearbook. This is like my 3rd grade yearbook. And I went to a Christian academy, so there's all type of stuff in here. So, I don't know, I figured I'd just turn to a couple random pages, see what I'm drawn to, and, see if, what type of reading I can get from there. But, yeah, there's no pre-selected pages or anything. There's no bookmarks. I'm not turning to anywhere that I predetermined to kind of just give you a pre-selected message. But, yeah, so I'm going to turn to a random page. Let that noise go by. But yeah, what's in store for this week? What closing messages? This energy is wild, bro. But yeah, what closing messages do we have? Any clarification on anything we talked about? But let's see. Okay. The first thing I'm seeing is junior varsity basketball. And this feels like, well, the first thing I read also is kicking off the season for the junior high and JV teams went better than expected. With of young new talent, the junior high and JV teams both finished the season good records. And I'm also being drawn to number 23 right here. I can't even see if you can see it. Yeah, number 23. And it's how it's kind of blurry. And the fact that it's junior varsity basketball feels like that same culmination energy. How many years young am I? I'm 29. And yeah, it feels like that dang, I lost that whole train of thought, which also feels significant. But yeah, it feels like it being JV feels like that moment right before, it's not varsity, but it's very important as far as getting to varsity. And I feel like that has everything to do with what our reading was. And it feels like, yes, we may not be exactly where we want to be, but where we are right now is very important to getting to the very next, to what's next for us, and connecting to what's unfolding for us, you know? Like, we may feel like, oh man, like this isn't, it's easy to get bored here in this space when you feel like there's so much waiting for you, there's so much unfolding for you. But it's like this space is what makes that next space everything, you know? JV, the way you perform at JV, like, yeah, it's not varsity, it's not as shiny, it's not as awesome, but if you don't perform in JV, you won't even get to that awesome part. And it feels like performing right here, right now, and really learning everything that there is to learn right now, really connecting to everything there is to connect to right now, leads to that very next space and unfolds into everything that you seek for yourself. So it's like, don't allow yourself to be so jaded with your present moment that, yeah, that you miss out on the very magic that is at, I don't want to say disposal because that sounds wasteful, but that is available for you to connect with it. And in your connection to it, understand that it leads to everything else. So yeah, definitely find ways to re-engage with exactly where you are right now, and understand that it leads to everywhere you're going. So you should be loved, it should be valued, and you should be present with it. And don't spend all this beautiful time in a rush to get to somewhere else, because understand that as things unfold, you're going to look back and realize like, hey, I'm also being called to like celebrities and how they always talk about, you know, like, damn, they wish they could go to the grocery store, or they miss being able to just go for walks and the most basic things that we take for granted right now. And it's like, don't be in such a rush to get to varsity that you miss out on the magic of JV. You know, JV, the competition is lighter, you know, especially if you're really good, you know, you get to have your way, you get all these minutes, and you get to just have fun out there, and it's not as much pressure. And it's like, if you sit there and rush to get to varsity, and it's like, then you get there and it's like, wow, every game matters so much, and every performance is so big, and you know, it's the margin for error is so much small, and the call for perfection is so big, and it's like there's so much more pressure. And it's like, dang, at that point you're like, dang, I should have just enjoyed JV while I was there, got my confidence up, enjoyed the ride, and you know, all these things. And it's like, that's where we are right now. And it's like, don't be in a rush to get to that next space. Be where you are right now and allow it to be beautiful, because it is. And yeah, that's definitely a beautiful reminder. Hold on, there's a message right here. But yeah, and yeah, that's a dope read, and I feel like that's very relevant. I'm going to turn to another page and get one more, and I'm going to go to the next thing. Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up. And then, boom. Oh, wow. This is cute. And I turn to the K4 page, which is, oh man, I'm putting all these people's information out here. Well, I guess it's just their name and their younger self. But it's pre-K. It's a pre-K page. And yeah, the first thing I'm seeing, the K4 class march, sing, and play homemade instruments in the hats off to reading parade. And this just feels like a call to keep things light, man, as far as just allowing play to be so present in our experience right now. It's like march, sing, and play homemade instruments, like hats off to reading parade. Like, that sounds so fun. Like, homemade instruments, like, who even thinks of that? Like, as far as this point, like, when's the last time you made an instrument, if you've ever done it? And it's like, that's the level of play that is so profound and beautiful and so far reaching right now. It's like, yeah, it's easy to feel like, dang, like I would play an instrument if I could, you know, but I don't have a piano, or I don't have a saxophone, or I don't have all these things. And it's like, hey, you could get some paper and some tape, and you can make all these things. And it's like, that's the same with anything. And it's like, allow yourself to play and understand that leads to so many creative solutions. Because without play, you would never get to, without embracing play, you would never get to that type of solution to your problem. Like, if you wanted to make music, like, think about it. If you're a musician, but you want to kind of use live instrumentation, but you don't know how, you don't have any instruments, and you maybe can't afford an instrument, but you have this recording stuff at home. It's like, hey, You could honestly make an instrument. You can make different things, or you can make household things instruments. But without embracing play, without getting into like a child's mind, you would never reach those conclusions or you reach those levels of creativity, which are always available to us. So it's like allow play to be present. It's like, okay, how can I get into a child's mind? How can I get to a child's creative state to address some of these problems for myself? And remember, as a kid, they don't have all those limitations that knowledge bring, you know. They don't know so much to where they're like, okay, that an instrument is this. It's like, okay, like an instrument is whatever they can think of, you know. This book is now a drum because I allowed it to be a drum. And it's like, it can be some other percussive thing. And it's like water, when you blow on the top of it, it becomes a wind instrument. And it's like, there's so much magic that's available to you if you allow yourself to get into that creative mind space and to become young and to become a kid and allow play to be present. And it's like, that feels like a call right now. And it's like, what problems that have you been struggling to solve that, you know, could use just a little bit of play, that you can just inject some play in a child's naivety into in an approach to solve the problem or to be creative or whatever it is. And it's like, there's so much magic available at the point you allow yourself to play. And that's dope. That feels like a very nice reminder. And yeah, shout out to my 3rd grade yearbook for that. And yeah, I'm excited to hear for the week to play out and for, you know, people to come across these messages at different places and to see how relevant they were. And they were just born of us sitting here playing ourselves. High key. Where everything and everything is everything. Hey, and I have a song named Everything's Everything. So that's also a full circle moment too. A drum's only a drum because we call it one, period. And that's the reality of the situation. And that's a nice reminder right there. So I'm definitely glad I brought these things, and I'm excited to go to the next thing. I brought this, which is like a scrapbook. So there's like pictures of like, this was for biology class in like 9th grade. And I came across this the other day. So there's like family pictures and old pictures of me and little stuff like that. But it was about just like families and genes and genetics and stuff like that. So I'm going to turn to a random page and see what calls out to me and go from there. So once again, no predetermined pages or anything. I'm just going to turn to a random page. And the first thing I noticed, I turned to the page that is featured my dad. It's me and my dad, and this is my dad and his siblings and him and his scrubs. And then this is a picture of me and him when I was younger. And yeah, I'm being drawn to my teeth in this picture. And this is pre-braces, pre-all that. So like there's gaps, there's all type of stuff. And this feels like, and I'm being called to understand that, I'm being called to just like understanding that how perfect things are before the shift, you know? It's like I'm looking at my teeth right now and it's like, yeah, they're imperfect, but there's so much personality in there. And even like when I saw my teeth after the brace and all that, like, yeah, they're nice and perfect, but there's just no character there anymore, you know? They're just nice teeth. But it's like, at this point, my teeth were so uniquely my own. And it's like, understand that, yes, just because things may be better and after the shifts and as things, you know, play out and they're different, that doesn't always mean they're better, because there's no difference. It's like the way they were before was perfect, as in the authenticity of the way they were, you know, and in the character that they had and in the perfection of the imperfection. And that feels like a great reminder. And there's a glare, so I can't tell if y'all can see the picture. But yeah, my teeth. Oh, the picture. But yeah, and it feels like, and it just feels like a nice reminder. And it's like every version of you was perfect, and it's just in the fact that it existed. And it's like, yeah, you might be more refined, you might know more, you might have more and all that, but you're no better than the past versions of you that essentially got you to that point anyway. You don't reach any of that better. You don't reach any of that newness, any of what you deem to be more perfect or more aligned without the parts that didn't feel that way. So yeah, that's also a nice reminder too. It's like, yeah, as these things continue to shift and as things continue to change, and as the things you see for yourself continue to actualize, don't forget where you came from, and also don't look to the past as if you're better than it now, because you're not. And understand that it was on the foundation of all those past versions of you, even the worst versions of you, the versions of you that you hate to think about. It's on the backs of them that you get to sit here and even judge them in that way, that you even have the awareness to be who you now are because of them being exactly who they are. So it's like, as these things continue to shift, understand that, hey, where you are now is perfect, where you're going is perfect, and where you've been is perfect. And you should honor every version of you that played a part in getting you here. So I'm gonna leave it at that, just so this doesn't get too long, because I still have one more thing. But yeah, that was really dope, and I'm really glad I decided to do this, honestly. But the very last thing is an old journal of mine. So I'm gonna go to an entry, and I'm gonna pull this out. So as you can see, there's no bookmark, there's nothing pre-selected. And yeah, I'm gonna go to a random page and see what's there, and this will be our closing message. So I'm setting the intention that whatever entry I find myself on, and even this cover feels significant too. It's like a tree, it's a really divine tree. And oh wow, I'm sitting under a tree right now, and this tree feels very magical itself. And on the back I'm seeing it says Heart of the Tree Journal, and it feels like that's where I'm at right now, where we are. We're at the heart. Well, not the heart. Maybe the heart would be like somewhere up here. Hey, maybe it would be right here. But yeah. So I'm going to turn to a random page. And yeah, I'll get our closing message from whatever I find there. And then yeah, I'll let you guys go and yeah, get to the integration and get back to the magic, and realizing that yeah, we are the magic, It's not outside of us. We're very much a part of it. And the energy is always around and always ready to work with us at the point we realize that it's available, and allow its space to exist in our reality. So please remember that you are magic, and that the call has come from within the house always. So that being said, let's see what the hell comes up. I have no idea. I'm a little nervous even, but yeah. Boom. Okay. Oh wow, this is beautiful. Okay, so the entry is from April 7th, 2022. So 4/7/22. Time 1:14 p.m. Mood relaxed. Song Space Between by Always Never. So all these things might be significant. You might want to go listen to the song. And that's an interesting song, Space Between. And it feels like that's where we are for sure. Like we're not quite where we've been. We're not quite where we're going. And we're just in that space between. But we're also relaxed in it, And it also feels interesting that this is from April 7th, which is like in the very beginning, the very first month of spring. It feels like that's the energy we're heading into and the momentum we're building towards as well. But yeah, the song is Space Between by Always Never. And the entry itself says, I am ready. I'm ready, period. I'm ready to experience the world on my terms. I'm ready to do everything I want. I'm ready to have everything I need. I'm not accepting anything less anymore. I deserve everything under the sun, and I'm going to make sure I give it to myself. No more trying or being patient. I will, and I crossed out will and put am, becoming by being, plain and simple. I am, all caps. And the card of the moment, because in this journal I was always pulling, at the end of a session I would pull a card. And the card of the moment was 4 of Cups, which came out in our reading today. And if that isn't exactly the energy that we were in, I don't know what is. I'm not accepting anything less anymore. I deserve everything under the sun, and I'm going to make sure I give it to myself. We were literally talking about how we're not separate from all these things, how we can shape our reality with our will. We were talking, even the fact that I wrote I will and I crossed out will and wrote am to make it present. And I erased the separation that I was headed towards in that. It is beautiful dream. Thank you. And I'm so glad I did this, man. Like, this is so perfect, and I couldn't have made this up if I wanted to. And even the fact that I crossed out will and wrote am, like, in that moment, I was headed down more separation. Like, I will become by being. That makes it outside of myself. And it's like, no, in that moment, I realized, I'm like, I am become by being it right now, in the present, plain and simple. And then even wrote I am, period. And it's like, that's where we are, and that's where we've been. That's the energy we've been navigating in this reading today. And it's like, that's the perfect closing message and the perfect proof of exactly what I'm talking about. It's like, we can give a reading with anything because what we're working with is the energy. It's not about the cards. It's not about me. It's not about anything other than where we find ourselves. It's not anything other than our will and our intention and our awareness, because that's what's shaping our reality. That's what's shaping our experiences, you know? It's like we were able to get a reading from all these things because that was our intention, to get a reading. And it's like, so that's the results we got. That's how our energy influenced and impacted the tools that we were working with at every given turn, as we worked with many different things to give readings, or to give a reading today. And it's like, that's the reality of the situation. It's like, we are so powerful, man. We are everything. We're connected to everything. There is no separation. The energy is our own. And it's like, I'm no more special than you are. I'm no more special than anybody. I'm not doing anything you can't do for yourself, you know? You can go and get all these things and work with all these tools and give a reading just the same way. At the point that you understand that and you know that, and you can connect to that energy and connect to yourself and your intuition and all that. And I'll never sit here and try to make it seem like I'm doing anything super profound or anything super magical or out of the ordinary, or like I was placed here with a super special gift. And it's like, yes, I have all these special gifts, but at the end of the day, the only difference is my knowledge and my connection to it all, and the way I hold space for all this magic and all these energies to play out in my experience and through me, and the way that I accept my role as a vessel of divine energy, the way I step and walk in my place as God embodied, as the universe embodied. And when I say you are God, I am God, that is by no means saying anything other than the fact that there is no separation, that we are all everything. And that at the point that we allow ourselves to be embodied and we move in our authenticity and show up through that connection to it all, that there is no separation, that we truly are God, we truly are the universe in those moments. That's it, period. And it's like, in knowing that we have the responsibility to each other, to ourselves, to those who don't know that they're God yet, and everything, to hold the space and to hold the frequency and to continue to show up as that, and to show up as God does, you know? If you subscribe to Christianity, you know, what does God do? God is a creator. God is a father, they say. God protects. God nurtures. God does all these things. It's like, you have that very same responsibility, especially to those who don't understand their connection yet, especially to those who are still looking outside of themselves for answers and everything. It's like, you owe it to them and you owe it to yourself to show up in love. You owe it to yourself to be an example, to lead in truth, and to not allow illusions to push you this way or that way, and to understand that you are a vessel of the very energies that created this world. If you follow everything to its smallest level, to its deepest level, it's all the same thing. We're all made of the same things: the trees, the grass, me, the iguanas, everything. It's all light. It all comes down to atoms. It all, beyond that, comes down to light, and just light at different frequencies, vibrating differently, and everything. And hold on, I'm trying to have faith. I just lost some of it when my girlfriend died 2 years ago. It's hard not to be angry, and that's valid. And yeah, it's not even about trying not to be angry. If you're angry, it's okay, you know. Allow yourself to be angry, because yeah, showing up authentically is the best thing you can do. And in that, my biggest thing as far as that goes is just to not take it out on everybody, you know, because it's not anything anybody else did. But also don't feel like it's not valid to feel that way. The best thing you can do, I feel like, is to own that anger, you know, and do something with it, you know, even if it's creating or writing or expressing it somehow. I mean, allowing the energy to move through you. But yeah, that's valid. You don't have to force yourself to feel any other way. Like, I can only imagine if my loved one died like that, especially a girlfriend, especially if it's someone who's super aligned and like truly your person and everything and all that. Like, yeah, that would make me angry. That would make me sad. That would make me all type of things. And yeah, I would say definitely don't lose faith. And also don't feel like you're wrong for feeling that way, because by trying to feel anything other than that, you're only continuing to perpetuate that, because that's how you feel and that's what's living inside your body. So yeah, I would say, hey, be angry, own it, and yeah, don't force yourself to move on, don't force yourself to do anything, but also feel it with the intention at some point to, you know, to alchemize the energy, to move forward and do something with it, because you're still here, you know, and the best thing you can do is honor her. And I'm sure she wouldn't want you to spend the rest of your life angry and, you know, alone and pushing people away or anything like that. She would want you to live a very beautiful and fruitful life. And the best thing you can do is honor that and honor those wishes and allow her to live on through you, because I'm sure she's made so many impressions on you. I'm sure she's impacted your life and changed your life in so many different ways. And you are living proof of her life. You know, you're living proof of her impact. You're living proof of everything that she was and continues to be, because death isn't an end. Death is a transition, you know. It's like we go from spirit to physical back to spirit, and, you know, she's very much present, and she's present in a way that she wasn't even able to be present while she was in a physical body. So I would definitely urge you to allow space for her to continue to be present in your life. And I'm sure she's always trying to communicate to you. She's always right next to you, always in your life in a way through you, and you can see her through the ways you show up. And as you continue to honor her, you'll feel that presence, and she's always with you, man. And I hope that you feel her with you through this message as I'm talking to you right now. She's definitely here, and she's always present, and she wants you to live the best life you can. And if that means being angry right now, be angry, but set the intention to allow the energy to move, and at some point to, you know, dust yourself off and to continue living a beautiful life, and to continue to honor her and add to her legacy through your own, you know. Do the things she would love to do, and in that feel close to her. If you're someone who's creative, create things in her name, dedicate things to her and add to her legacy, and share the things she taught you through the things you make, and share it with other people and the impact that you have. And understand that you're adding to her legacy, and that she's here adding to you, and you're both adding to her legacy. And yeah, allow yourself to keep loving, whether that be another person whenever you're ready, or just loving yourself, and loving yourself the way she used to love you. There's so many different ways. The best thing I would just say is to just continue to honor her, continue to honor yourself, and allow her to continue to live through you, and add to her legacy through you, man. And yeah, I'm being really called to say I'm proud of you, and for holding space for your anger, you know, and holding space for your emotions and not suppressing them, and not forcing yourself to be anything other than who you are at any given turn, because you deserve that, honestly. And thank you for sharing, and thank you for allowing me to hold space and reflect some of the energy to you. And yeah, I love you, honestly. And I'm really, really grateful. And you came in at a great time as we were wrapping up this collective reading. And this just feels like a very important moment. And it means a lot to me to be a part of it. So thank you. And I hope that my words were able to help a little bit. And I hope that, yeah, you feel loved through me and through this collective, through the energy. And yeah, I love you. I really, really do. And hey, whoever you have to be in any given moment is valid and deserves to be honored. So don't feel like you have to force yourself to feel anything other than what you feel, because your authenticity leads you to everywhere you need to go. So yeah, just continue to be you as only you can be you. And I love you. Hey Haley, welcome to the party. And you're welcome, man. You're so welcome. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to even be able to express that to you, man. And that takes so much courage to even share that. Like, you just came in, you know, maybe a room full of strangers, and you put your heart out there and you just expressed yourself. And kudos to that, because that's no small thing. And yeah, I'm proud of you. And that takes such strength and boldness and courage. And I just on that alone, I know that you'll be okay, and that everything will work out exactly how it's supposed to, and it already is. So yeah, I hope you're proud of yourself, and I hope you give yourself as much credit as you deserve, because you deserve it all, honestly. So that being said, that was Monday Magic, y'all, and this was amazing. And yeah, man, these Mondays continue to be way more than I anticipate, way more than I could ever ask for or anything. And I'm just so grateful, and more grateful by the week. And I'm grateful for all of you, familiar faces, new faces alike, everybody. And I hope y'all continue to show up and stick around. And oh man, this kid just fell off his bike. Oh man, it's okay. Yeah, y'all send him some love for me. I'm sending him lots of love. He's getting up though. He's gonna get back on. And that's the reality situation, you know. Things happen, mistakes happen. And, you know, you get back up and you keep riding. You don't just throw the bike away. You don't go put it up and never ride again, because at the end of the day, it's all leading you in the same place. And hey, that's where we are right now. Every day is not easy. And sometimes we fall into the things that we've outgrown, the things that don't work for us. And sometimes it hurts. Sometimes life hurts. But we allow it to add to our arsenal of weapons, our arsenal of tools and experiences that allow us to build on it. And look, he's right back to riding. He's smiling again, like, and he had but it looks like his big brother was with him. His big brother didn't overly like, oh my God, are you okay? He kind of rolled over and kind of looked at him. He looked at his elbow and was like, and then they got up and they got back to riding. He's looking, they're smiling, they're having a good time, and they're back to what they were doing. And it's like, life is that same way. It's like, it doesn't have to be any bigger than that. Once you fall, allow yourself to get up when you can, you know, take your break, you know, brush it off, address your wounds. Hey, even if you have to feel sorry for yourself for a little bit, do that. But understand that, do it with the intention to get back on that bike and keep going. And understand that it doesn't have to be anything bigger than that. So yeah, man, this has all been beautiful. And like I said, I couldn't make any of this up. And the energy is the energy. And it's an honor to be able to sit here and reflect it and express it, and to work with it and navigate it for us and for you all. So yeah, that's been Monday Magic. I'm Mark. This has been Tree Baby. She's been holding it down and holding the space and holding the energy and just all that. And I'm just so grateful for it all. I'm grateful for the tools we use today, the cards. I'm grateful for you all, because you all influence the energy, and it really takes all of us in equal part, and there is no separation. So I hope you guys thank yourselves at the end of these readings as well. As great as it is, and as great as the job as I do, like, it takes everybody. So yeah, I'm Mark. I've been your reader. This has been Monday Magic, and I was gonna say, I hope it's been everything I told you it would be when I told you you were in store for great things. But I know it has been, because there's no separation, and it's been exactly what it's supposed to be. W Stream, thank you. Awesome session. Hell yeah, thank you. I really appreciate you, and you adding to the energy and amplifying the energy throughout the session. Like, it's been really nice. And it means a lot to me that the chat worked today, because without the chat today, none of this would be possible. But I understand that it worked today because it needed to work today, so we could have this experience and just the whole thing. There's no separation, man. If you don't remember anything else, remember that. Like, we're all connected, and we're all connected to everything, and everything's everything, as we said earlier. So make sure you do all the things. Follow, like, subscribe, share with somebody. Share your favorite part. Play your favorite part for someone. Yeah, just do all the things. And if you're not already on Patreon, in our Patreon community, definitely meet me over there. The Amani community, which is Swahili for peace, which is my middle name. And yeah, over there is where we're at between Mondays, you know, where we're doing the work, where we're embodying all the things we talk about. There's journal with me's. We do some journaling over there. We do meditating over there. Anything I come across that I feel adds to the spiritual work and adds to my frequency and keeps my mind going, I go and share it there. Sunday Shadows, which is our collective reading, which is like our Sunday shadow work equivalent to Monday Magic, which we do on Sundays, which we haven't done in 3 weeks. I'm setting the intention again to get back to it this week, but I don't know. It's like by the time I get to Sunday, it's like the energy is taking its own life. And you know me, I'm going to embody authenticity and follow the energy. So I'm setting the intention again to make it happen this weekend. But if it doesn't, know that it just wasn't supposed to. And I'm going to honor that. So yeah, meet me on the Patreon. There's so much magic there. And as it continues to grow, there'll be more magic and there'll be more things and more offerings. But we're there every day. And if you vibe with this, you'll vibe with the Patreon. And right now it's set up as you get a free 7-day trial for signing up of the Rock tier, which is our one subscription tier that's there right now. So you get a full 7 days to get full access to everything. And even if you just come for the 7 days and just take advantage of everything that's been there, it's been like over a month since I launched it. So it's going to be 2 months soon, actually. So yeah, you'll be able to access all that. So even if you just take advantage of everything and then leave, hey, that's okay too. Just take it as a thank you for sitting in here, especially this whole session, and continuing to support Monday Magic and support me and my divine work. So yeah, the Patreon is patreon.com/5D just too easy. And like I said, you get a free week trial, so there's nothing to lose and everything to gain. And like I said, if you vibe with me, you'll definitely vibe with the Patreon. That being said, also check out my music. I release music as KK the Artist. I have a few new songs that I'm working on releasing very, very soon, and new things I'm creating all the time. So wherever you listen to music, I'm already there. And that's just another medium for me to do the same work, to move the same energy, to alchemize, to transmute, to educate. So like I said, I'm just me authentically everywhere. So if you vibe with me here, you'll vibe with all that stuff, because it's just me in different locations and different forms. So that being said, this has been Monday Magic. Once again, I'm Mark, and I love you so much. And make sure you go have a great rest of your day on purpose, because yeah, it's your world, and you always have a choice at the end of the day. And like we navigated through all these energies, you are at the center of your universe, and you have the ability to shape your reality with your will and through your knowings and through your intentions. So do that and take back the wheel, take back your seat on the throne, and allow yourself to be the center of your universe, because you are. So I love you, and I'll see y'all around. I'll see you soon. If you guys do make it over to the Patreon, hey, I'll see you very soon. And if not, hey, I'll see you next Monday, and that's okay too. Whatever feels right and whatever resonates with you. But I love you, and I'll see y'all around, man. Hey, peace and yeah, love. I'll see y'all later, dogs. Great job today. I'm very proud of y'all. See you later.